So this is October the 2nd, 2016, and you'd had a successful hunt, hadn't you?
Yes, it was a very nice hunt.
And
Textbook.
So what happened from there?
Well, I had killed the elk on the first day, which is unusual in itself, and was going back the next day to take it out, butcher it on the spot because we're a couple of miles from camp. And I separated from my hunting partners. They had their guns. I did not. I was carrying a backpack and a butcher knife, a small deboning knife. And I separated because of complacency, which is a dangerous position to get into, whether you're hunting or driving down the road. You do it so often, so many times, and you kind of forget the danger you're in. And that's what I did there, and walked back into the woods and found the elk on my own, and walked up to it. I didn't get too close, but I got close enough to see that it had been turned over and covered with brush. And the adrenaline rush at that point, because I realized what I'd been forgetting all morning, is that bear on the mountain, and a bear had claimed the kill. And so I turned to leave the area because they stay close by. And as I turned, I saw a mother grizzly bear and a cub on either side of her coming my way. And before I could take 2 steps, she grabbed my backpack and jerked me off my feet. And what we were able to reconstruct later was she had slapped me and knocked me out, and then mauled me down the mountain about 50 yards. And we fetched up against a log, and that's where I woke up. And she was sniffing me on the cheek, and whiskers were right here in my ear. And a voice in my head said, "Don't play dead." And so I struck out at her with my left hand, and she clamped onto this. I felt immense pressure on my arm, and I pushed right back into her to get a gag reflex so that she would open up. And she pulled back, and I came up to my knees and proceeded to stab her in the head with my knife, which had never left my hand. Well, she let go, and I immediately stood up because I know she's going to come back and kill me. I know that. That's what bears do. But I couldn't see. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I looked down. I could see down at the ground, but I couldn't see out in front of me. And on the left side was my backpack, and it was all crumpled up. Well, I understood that. And on the right side was, oh, that's my nose and my mustache on the ground. And now I know what's wrong with me, but I don't have time to worry about that because I know the bear is right here, even though I can't see her. So I back away, and I never see the bear again. And I got about 40 yards down the mountain, going by feel through the woods. And I know I'm not going to get myself out of this one. I know I'm going to need help. There's no help on the mountain, but I cannot leave these dense, dark woods with a bear behind me. I've got to find a high ground. So I climb up into some logs that I find by feel, and I put my back against a tree. And I said, "Lord, I could use a little help about now." And then I proceeded to yell for help.
I mean, it's extraordinary, really, because they did find you, and in total you were on that mountain for 7 hours without any medical assistance. And then once they got you off the mountain, it took you another 5 hours to transfer to hospital where the treatment could begin.
And his brother-in-law found his nose and moustache on the ground and picked it up and put it in his pocket.
And thank goodness he did, because this is the next stage of your recovery. I mean, you were lucky to be alive at this point, but to reattach the nose to your face, this is a long process which you're currently undergoing.
Oh yes, it's an amazing process, and they reattached it on my arm the next day and used leeches to get the blood flowing and keep it alive. And that has, most of my nose is still here. It didn't all survive because it was such a long time without blood flow, but they have enough to work with. and that'll take a year to 2 years to complete the reconstructive process on my face.
Well, the incredible thing is that they've attached the bulk of your nose, which had been so brilliantly, thoughtfully put into a pocket, onto your arm. So it's fed by your radial artery,
Yeah.
so that it's keeping it alive. Whereabouts
Unbelievable.
is it on your arm?
Well, it's right by my wrist.
Oh,
And
there it is on the side.
this is my right nostril. My left nostril died, and my lip died, so I lost my mustache.
Oh.
And when I came into his room, he just did not look like my husband. I mean, he had every wire, every bell, whistle. He was in a medically induced coma to protect him. He had his arms in what they call fixators, which are metal braces to keep him from moving. And his nose and upper lip area was gone. They just had it packed with some what they call zero form.
It is
And,
it is astonishing the work that's been the work that's been done. One final question.
We can't.
Are you hunting still?
Yes.
Yes, we made 2 trips back out there this past August. One in August and one in September. The one in August was for the game wardens to take us back up on the mountain and recreate the scene to see what had happened and learn if there's some way to avoid this.
Absolutely. When they say that's
And
good
then,
good for you
Yeah,
is to go
it's
back
good for your
and
head as well.
revisit the scene.
Thank you both. Thank you very much. We wish
Yes.
you a speedy recovery and good luck with your next operation next year. Thank you so much
Phil
for
and
joining us.
Holly.